Alright, hello, this is Nick Marine and welcome to Let's Read Japanese, a course series for the reading of Japanese text alongside its audio counterpart. Alright, so today's episode is Let's Read Japanese, Ki no Nani食べた, episode 3. This is episode 3 of a 12-part drama, and I'm doing and I'm doing one video per drama, so although these are longer than normal because they come out to about, since the drama itself is 30 minutes, so it takes a little bit longer to get through than what an anime or half of a hour-length drama would be. All right, so with that said, if you end up enjoying this video, remember to give it a thumbs up. If you like the series I'm doing with this one and you'd like to see more, you can subscribe to the channel to see more like this. This is all part of the Let's Learn Japanese project. So the link's down below. If you want to support that, you can by becoming a patron, as well as there are links to the Let's Learn Japanese website that Otaku Dave put together, the Let's Learn Japanese community Discord. And if you'd like to hire me on commission, the hourly rates and whatnot are and payments are done via the Patreon. Again, direct links for that below. And again, when I say commission, normally it's just technical assistance or advice, like how to get started, utilizing some of these programs or whatnot that have come about the last 10 years for the Japanese learning community. Cool. All right, so this is, as I mentioned, episode 3. There are 12 parts, as I mentioned, also 12 parts, so getting there. I'm recording this on July the 4th, but it should be made. Might as well pull this out now and see, and then I'll be posting it on July the 12th, making it public again July the 12th. All right. And then the series after this is Shinya Shokudo Season 2, Episode 1. So Season 2. So that'll be the next series, so we'll work on it and keep going on from there. All right, and Dr. Merlot with the last comment, if we're going backwards in time, so good on you for that. And let's get started. Hello there, Dr. Merlot. Okay.
Tadaima.
Kakei Shiro. Make sure about that. Yeah, Shiro. Okay, so that's Hisae. Hisae.
だいぶ涼しくなったわね。
そうだね。
さあ、どうぞ。
Usually these get deleted. I guess because the first part didn't get deleted. And yeah, since it's, even though it's like he doesn't live there, since it's his family house, he will say Tadaima instead of Oisashiburi or Ojamashimasu. I mean, I don't sit down to take off my shoes. He does. I usually just use my feet and just kick them off that way. No, shoot. Well, I didn't do anything next.
お父さん、久しぶり。
All right, by the way, this actor, he did pass away a few years back. In fact, I think this was his last drama. I think he died during the production. So they did change the actor. So they did try to write around the actor's death. They did change the actors, but not the character. I forgot the actor's name though.
Oh,
okay, and this is Goro.
Shy.
待ってて、今天ぷら揚げるとこなの。
お母さん、これいろんな種類のエクレア。事務所の人がここのが評判いいって言うから買ってきた。
Oh, and about taking off shoes. I mean, even before I moved to Japan, I would have it where, take off your shoes at the bottom of the stairs, before you get onto the carpet. It just made the carpet. It just kept it easier to keep the carpet clean.
あ、そう、ありがと
Oh, those do look good.
う。きれいに作ってあること。
Definitely better than the Dunkin' Donuts.
嬉しいけど、こういうことに気が利きすぎるっていうのもやっぱりちょっと。
気が利きすぎる。I wonder if that's a full phrase. 気が利き。気が利き。気が利きすぎる。
女の子み。こういうことに気が利きすぎるっていうのもやっぱりちょっと女の子みたいね。
Boy, she really wants him to come out. And I really like ebi tempura. I really do. Although I usually, when I eat it, it's with tempura.
エビ天どう？
Which actually is probably what this is, ebi tempura. No, ebi tempura and soba. Yeah, soba.
中まで火通ってた。
うん、通ってたよ。ちょうどうまく上がってた。うん、この玉ねぎもすごくうまいよ。
そう、よかった。
If you notice, the crunching sounds aren't matching up with the mouth movements. I just noticed that. So they're adding the sound effects. I'm wondering if like they're not really, they're just trying to look like they're eating instead of actually eating. You know, because if you got to do multiple takes, that's very difficult if you do swallow all the food. Uncomfortable silences are always a good thing. Okay, miso soup.
この味噌汁。
それで一緒に暮らしているボーイフレンドの方はお元気？
ああ、元気だよ。
あのね、ずっと考えてたんだけど。
I'll be honest, by the way, I just want to mention this. I was thinking like ano nezuto. I was thinking like something had what's a nezu, and it's ano nezuto. So it's one of the things like it's good to listen along with the audio sometimes. It just small stuff like that.
あのね、ずっと考えてたんだけど。
Other reason is because there probably would have been a space there, in the like right there in the subtitles. So it would have been more obvious. But I got rid of all the spaces for reasons. But again, that creates problems like this.
シロさん、これだけは覚えておいてほしいの。お母さん、シロさんがゲイでも犯罪者でも、シロさんのすべてを受け入れる覚悟はできてるつもりよ。
Eclairs. Claire. Those do look good.
うん。美味しいよ、このエクレア。
Oh, yeah. Oh, there we are.
よかった。お父さん甘党だったよね。
Amato. Amato. Sake yorimo amamono. Okay, so like sweets more than beer. Amato. I like that.
よかった。お父さん甘党だったよね。
おい、体の方はどうなんだ。
Well, the old man, by the way, he might not be eating a donut. I think he had cancer at the time of the filming, so he was just in the final stages prior to passing away. The actor, not the character.
40も過ぎるとどこかしらガタが来るもんだろ
ガタが来る。
40も過ぎると。
40. Oh, interesting. Usually I would say 40, so 40も過ぎると。
どこかしらガタが来るもんだろ
いや、今のところ特に悪いところはないよ。
そうか。まあ、それはよかった。お前は昔から意志の強いところがあったからきちんと節制してんだろ
う。まあ自分のことぐらい。
節制。
きちんと節制してんだろ。
まあ自分のことぐらいはね。
お母さんもお前の顔を見て安心したと思うよ。で、
Not sure about the music.
どんな女だったら大丈夫なんだ、お前は。
Alright. Yabuki Kenji.
おかえり、シロさん。
Kakei Shiro.
ただいま。まだ起きてたのか。
今寝るとこ。
So, Neru Toko. Almost about the same.
なんか夜はちょっと寒くなってきたよね。
Of course, for here, right now, it's right the rainy season. So, like for the last 3-4 days, it's just been raining. In fact, it was like last 2 days, it was like really raining, like flooding. And of course, that mudslide that unfortunately has maybe killed about 20 or so people in Atami.
お父さんお母さん元気だった？
ああ。
なんかあった？
なんかあった？
それが
それか。
いや普通だったよ。
Alright, let's skip this. It's kind of funny. Actually, not really funny, but yeah, last night, I guess on, I forgot what channel. I think it was one of the channels, but yeah, they were just doing a marathon of this TV show. So it's kind of fun to just sit down and watch it play out. Although, unfortunately, or fortunately, depends on how you look at it, they were the episodes I haven't done this Let's Read on, so it's like harder to, I mean, you can still understand the story, you know, that's it, but, you know, I missed the finer points of it that, you know, you pick up by doing through the Let's Reads. But again, it's fun because, again, my wife and I both enjoy this particular series, so it is fun to watch together.
あら、
解放。
じゃあご両親は筧さんがゲイだってことご存知なのね。それは少し気が楽なんじゃない？
知ってるからって分かってくれてるわけじゃありませんから。特に母親にとっては俺は犯罪者と同じだし。
Yeah, that is kind of that. I don't care if you're gay or a criminal. It's like, whoa, why are you equating the two? It's like, yeah, I mean that is kind of.
特に母親にとっては俺は犯罪者と同じだし。
犯罪者？
い
や。
それにしても今日の中村屋はないわよね。キャベツ2個でも200円、3個でも200円ってあんまりじゃない？
あの店たまにああいう無茶な売り方しますよね。あの店たまにああいう無茶な売り方しますよね。
同じ値段ならそりゃ3個もらうわよね。
1個はコールスローにしましょうっていう佳代子さんの言葉、神の声に聞こえましたよ。
よし、キャベツ1個、人参1本千切れ終わり。
So I like how I'm assuming what they're doing is, you know, food prep. Now I've never done food prep. My wife does. I guess it's like cook a bunch of stuff, prep, pack it, and then put it in the freezer for then, you know, over the week you can then pull the stuff out as ingredients for, you know, dinner and whatnot. So it just reduces prep time on, you know, the daily prep time. So they spend a lot of time on one day to help save time on the remainder of the days. Kind of makes sense. Really good if you like, that way you can also cook like rice in bulk. Right? Yeah, using a rice cooker is a very good idea for that. So you can just, again, because it's still got to take a lot of power and electricity. So it's better to do it as like, you know, big in a big amount and then package those up for later use.
味付けはマヨネーズですか？
Ajisuke. Let me make sure. I mean, Tebemono Ajisuke. I mean, obviously that's what it is, but I think it's specifically about adding for flavor, right? Seasoning. There we go. Seasoning for flavor.
味付けはマヨネーズですか？
うちではドレッシングビネガーとマヨネーズ、それにお砂糖を入れてさっとかき混ぜて。
さっとか。Yeah, 炊飯器。
30、それにお砂糖を入れてさっとかき混ぜて30分くらい置いて。
But the sui isn't miso. Sui is like for like taku or cooking. So I sometimes make that mistake.
キャベツがぺちゃんこになったら塩と胡椒で味を整え。
Pechanko. Pechanko. So let's see what pechanko is. Zen ni yarikomarete crushed. Okay. Pechanko.
塩と胡椒で30分くらい置いて、キャベツがぺちゃんこになったら塩と胡椒で味を整えて塩と胡椒で味を整えて出来上がりかな。
いいですね。
料理っていいわよね。気分が変わるっていうか無心になれるじゃない。嫌なことがあっても。
Mushin? No worries. Request. Okay. Mushin. Innocent sarcasm.
気分が変わるっていうか無心になれるじゃない。嫌なことがあっても。私料理してると結構リセットできちゃうかも。
わかります。
やっぱり。
うちの母親も。いや、うちの母も佳代子さんぐらいの距離感でいてくれたらなって思いますよ。
Kyorikan. I assume that's like a different moods or different feelings. Sense of distance. Maybe I'm misunderstanding.
佳代子さんぐらいの距離感でいてくれたらなって思いますよ。富永さんも娘さんも俺がゲイだって分かっても自然。
Let me hear that again. Tominaga. Yeah.
富永さんも娘さんも俺がゲイだって分かっても自然に接してくれるじゃないですか。別にゲイを理解しろとかそこまで言わないから、せめて普通にしててくれって思いますよ。
筧さん、それはちょっと無理なんじゃない？いやだって筧さんは私にとって他人じゃない。家族とは違うもん。もう私だってある一つで娘が「私はレズビアンです」って言ってきたら、いや正直平成でいられるかどうか。もう私だってある一つで娘が「私はレズビアンです」って言ってきたら、いや正直平成でいられるかどうか自信ない。
そういうものですか？
そうよ。
ただいま。あ、時計だ。
Yeah, but what if it's her husband that says it instead? That's based on, what he was talking about from the previous episode or the last episode. If he had actually stayed in a longer term relationship with that girlfriend from 20 years ago.
どうぞ。なんか盛り
Okay, where are we at?
上がっちゃって。
Oh, there we are.
どうぞ。なんか盛り上がっちゃってみんな連れてきちゃった。
I hope he told him.
はじめまして。どうぞ。
So, tennis club.
今の放送で。
お構いなく。大勢。
Well, again, it's like she already mentioned about lesbian no doga, so it doesn't matter about that part. But the yeah, it's like I'm not watching it. It's like, oh, this is a gay drama or this is a lesbian drama, so I need to watch it. This is a good drama. It just happens to feature either homosexuals or alternative lifestyles as a part of it. That's just, it's no more than if, so it's not like I'm going after a specific type of storyline. In this one, it happens to be done good. I've seen some ones that just aren't that good. It's just, just because it happens to feature a gay character doesn't make it automatically good. And like, I think it was, what was that one? Will and Grace. I don't think they did that very well. But then again, they had actors playing a gay character as opposed to actually having actors that were gay playing the gay character. So that might have had an impact on it as well.
あ、お母さん、昼飯はね、帰る前にピザ3枚頼んどいたから。昼飯はね、帰る前にピザ3枚頼んどいたから。筧さんも食べてって。
ああ、いやいや、俺はもうおいとましますんで。
いや、何言ってんの。筧さんいると思ってわざわざ小日向さん連れてきたんだから。
Kohinata. See if that's actually, yeah, okay. Kohinata and Ohina. Okay, interesting. And like I said, that's the annoying thing about all these Japanese names. It's like, it's the same writing and they're all different pronunciations, and you really don't know like what's the most common pronunciation for a name. Well, video Ega. It's okay, but yeah. yeah. So it's on YouTube, Dolga. If it's on the screen or in the TV, then it's Ega. Gotcha.
わざわざ小日向さん連れてきたんだから。
小日向さん。小日向
さん、ちょっとこっち来てくれる？
He's got a very strong look about. I thought I knew the actor, but I looked at his the TV shows that he starred in, and I'm not recognizing any of the shows, so I can't really place him. He just looks super familiar. He's got a very strong look about, with his eyes.
こんにちは。
Like a very serious, like he's got a serious look, like he's about to kill you.
こんにちは。
こちら小日向さんね。
But he, he's a nice guy and all that. Just very strong personality.
それでこちらが噂の筧さんね。
Wasa?
あのね、小日向さんもゲイなのね。
え？
あ、お母さん、ピザ来たお母さん。これお金。
See, now everybody's coming out. he's being outed to everybody, and he really wants to be reserved into who knows that he his and let's be honest, right? Let's just say you're straight. I mean, do you really want to do you really talk about it? You don't need to. It's like, because it's like, are you straight as in, but like, are you sexually active, not sexually active, or actually it's like you're not really interested in a certain life. You just want to have a little. Are you married, but are you outgoing, or you're married and just kind of have basically a non-sexual lifestyle. I mean, it's all sorts of things. There's more than just being gay and straight. I mean, it just happens to be you have an attraction to essentially a certain type of person or look, and even then that can be varied, as you can see here. The difference between Kenji and Shiro is again very different two different types of characters. And I don't think Kenji would be attracted to another Kenji character, and Shiro would be attracted to a type of Shiro character, even as far as personality. And then of course there's with looks. So it's just not going down to just a very simple description. You can't narrow a person down just on that.
みんなからもうもらってるか
Sorry
ら
about
ピザ
that.
来た
Anyway,
お
sorry
母
about
さん
that.
これお金みんなからもうもらってるからあららちょっと
Yeah, and by the way, this what he's mentioned there, I think I've mentioned before. In Japan, it's very common to split the bill. Okay, even if you invite people over to your house and order pizza, it's very common, like people to pay some money to help to alleviate the cost of the ingredients or preparation of the foods and whatnot. That's very common. It's not being cheap. It's just allowing, again, as a group to have. You're not having to be dependent upon a rich friend to supply a good party. Now, you can actually go to any other person's house, and they can feel comfortable with having a party because, again, everyone kind of chipped in as far as the cost or food is concerned, and especially the alcohol. Definitely help out with the alcohol. So, I mentioned that only because you go on Reddit and you see some comments when somebody mentioned about some bride ones or the bride to be saying how she wanted people to help chip in and pay for the wedding, and then people on Reddit just lose their mind. How dare you ask guests to pay for it? It's like, well, there's nothing wrong with the idea itself. Now the person was being annoying because of how they went about it, but the idea of as a group paying for a dinner or a party instead of everyone just paying their own separate bills, it kind of helps things out. And then, yeah, also if you have a friend who may be a bit more financially strapped because of their situation, be willing to they can just pay a little bit less but still enjoy everything of equal amounts as others. Again, that's, and by the way, I'll do the opposite. Like, we got friends who don't drink because alcohol is a big part of the cost of any meal in Japan. We make sure we track what the alcohol cost would be from whatever they would pay. Okay? And they will usually politely try to say, no, they want to pay evenly, but it's like, we'll argue, no, because again, that's like almost an extra 30, that could be an extra $20-30 on top of the normal bill, depending on how much people were drinking, especially if it's, again, just depending on the situation. So again, don't make it, you don't sweat it, but again, it's just a kind of more of a communal aspect instead of I've got mine, screw you. I think it's something I think if more Americans should try to consider, doing something like this. There are some aspects you don't need to adopt every aspect, but I think this would be a good aspect to adopt. The more social way of going out to dinner.
ちょっと出て
はいはい。
あれなんだっけ
なんだっけ
あ、そうだよ小日向さんゲイなのね。それで筧さんもゲイじゃない？
I think the term would be kukiyominai. It's like he
だからゲイ同士仲良く友達になれるかなと。
Oh, this is so cringe.
思って。
どうも小日向大作と申します。
大作小日向大作と申します。
ピザ来たわよ。あ、そうだ。ちょうどいいコールスローも食べ時だからみんなでいただきましょうね。小日向さんも筧さんも。
コールスローだ。
いただきましょう。筧さん。
I'll say that because I've seen the other episodes, so he's not he's a very intense guy, but he's got a. Okay, what we got?
もう稲妻サイドじゃん。
まあね、この人オーバーだから。
Yeah, in Japan, it's very common where let's say you have it where the wife is staying at home and while the husband is a salaryman. Yes, it is very common where the salaryman hands his entire check over to the wife, who then pays for all the bills and take care of all the finances. In addition to then giving them a slight bit of the money back to the husband as an allowance or something. I forgot there's a word for it, kozeni, not kozeni. But yeah, it's like an allowance and whatnot. And same with for the children that's involved as well. Yeah, that's very common. Now, in my house, it's a little different since, I have my income, my wife has her income because she works. What I do is I pay her, I don't give her like all my money, I just give her like a significant amount, and then to help take care of whatever the mortgage happens to be and some of the utilities and whatnot. And then, of course, I have my savings and she has hers. And if we got to do big purchases, I have to do a transfer from a U.S. account to a Japanese account. That's the only benefit. Again, I have a U.S. account and a Japanese account. Then I've also got a separate Japanese bank account for the work I do in Japan. So again, just keep things separate. You still pay taxes on everything, so it's not like that big of a deal. It just helps keep things simple. But yeah, for the most part, she handles most of it. What I would do in the military before I got married was there was something called GI Bill pay. Since I was again in the military, the idea was if you had an apartment, you actually got quite a few bills you have to pay, and instead of paying each one individually, you take all those through GI Bill pay. They help collect it all, and then they set up. Essentially, it's like a direct deposit of sorts where they do the payments to the companies. So you pay them, and then they pay out to the company, and then they charge you what the amount. Yeah, so they have an idea of what the amount will be. Works out quite well, and they get like a little percentage because the way it would work is there's an exchange rate, so it's going from U.S. to Japanese currency, so that there's a certain percentage there, and then they keep a little percentage above that. So it's not a lot, and it's worth the convenience of where you don't have to worry about missing a payment, especially if you're in the military where you can deploy and be gone for like weeks or months at a time. They still take care of that. Yeah, so I thought it was a really good idea.
そうだ、私ジュース持ってくる。
We're only a third of the way through, and we're at 30 minutes already.
すいません。
That's very common there, pouring someone else's drinks. And they'll pour into a glass so they can still share the same can of beer around the table. So, the one can could serve a lot of people.
芸同士だから仲良くって。
Okay.
富永さんもあんまりですよね。
ですよ。ね
でもまあせっかくなんでよろしければ筧さん。
はい。
この間あった僕の悲しい話を聞いてもらえませんか。
はい。
僕今恋人と暮らしてるんですが。
彼氏いるんですね。
そいつ会社を辞めて会社の寮を出なきゃいけなくなって。
Okay.
僕の家に転がり込んできたんですよ。
転がり Let's see what that is. 転がり込む。書いて、so, move. Becomes 生活に困ったり。OK。転がり込んで。人の家には入り込んで、move into, in terms of difficulty. OK, gotcha. To visit, stay overnight as an unwanted kid. Yeah. OK. 転がり込んで。
そいつ会社を辞めて会社の寮を出なきゃいけなくなって僕の家に転がり込んできたんですよ。だから立場としては僕の方が強いはずなんですよね。それなのに渡るのやつ、渡るってのは僕の恋人の名前です。ビジュアルはジルベールみたいな美少年をイメージしてください。
Now, when I watched this with my wife, and I was saying, so, Pole no Ichizoku, something like that, and it's like I guess it's set in the 19th century, but it's a very famous manga in Japan. So this character, Shiroberu, kind of like a vampire, I guess. Think of Lestat from Interview with a Vampire.
その渡るがジルベールみたいな美少年をイメージしてください。その渡るが
Spoiler alert, he really doesn't look like that.
僕の帰りがちょっと遅くなったからってドアにチェーンをかけて僕を家から締め出したんですよ、真夜中。
Oh, you locked him out of his own house. Did he?
他に
Yeah, so that's kind of what the character looks like in the. Although I guess it got remade, the manga.
僕は自分の家なのに縮こまりながら
Chijikomari. Okay, Chijikomari.
開けてくれ。僕は自分の家なのに縮こまりながら開けてくれ。開けてくれってやつに小声で哀願するわけです。
No, I meant the actor. I don't think so. Like not in the scene coming up, but in the actual boyfriend. You know, the one's got the little tuffy chin beard.
ごめんね。渡る。
になった。小声で。
早く早く。ね、ね、寒い寒い。ね、渡るか。開けて。ね、開けて。
Now again, this is what what is it? God damn it, I'm forgetting his name. But Kakei. This is what Kakei is like imagining the story played out.
あ、かわいい。
大作 What took you so late?
Let's see. 大作。どうしてこんな遅くなったわけ？
ごめんよ、渡るか。急に得意先の人を接待しなきゃいけなくなった。
得意先。A very persistent customer. Very frequent customer. Oh, okay. 得意先。
ごめん、急に得意先の人を接待しなきゃいけなくなってさ。
You can't
メールの一本待てのよね。
message me?
ごめん、話がもう途切れない人でさ。ドア開けて。ね、何でもするから。ね、ね。かわいい。
I wanna eat Haagen-Dazs.
Okay, なんかハーゲンダース食べたくなった。
大ちゃん
I think he's thinking this like he's kind of putting a little bit of Kenji's character into his imagination of what's happening in the scene.
Go to the convenience.
Oh, wait, come back here.
かわいい。
I wanna eat Haagen-Dazs, 大ちゃん
コンビニ行って買ってきてよ。
Go to the convenience and buy some. Get the one
マルチパック。
that has lots of flavor.
マルチ、そうフレーバー。Okay.
The one with
いちご、
strawberry,
ストロベリー、
matcha,
抹茶、
and vanilla.
バニラ入ったやつ。
すぐ買ってくるよ。
ひどい話でしょ。
小日向さん、あなた今長々と2人の楽しいプレーの話を聞かせましたね。
Okay. あなた今長々、long story, long discussion. 長そう、come back here. 長々と長談義 tedious 長談義。
あなた今長々と2人の楽しいプレーの話を聞かせましたね。今日会ったばかりの人間に今のは完全にのろけと受け取っていいですよね。
いや、
どう？
Let's see if that's full. So I know that's being stupid or not okay. Oh, bragging. So that's what that means. のろけること。自分の目をのろける。Okay. I completely misunderstood that. 受け取って、it's accept.
今のは完全にのろけと受け取っていいですよね。
いや、
どう？仲良くなれた？
ええ、
とても。そりゃあよかった。ナイスゲーム。
そうだ、筧さん。せっかくですから今度食事でもどうですか。連絡先交換しましょう。
はい。
That just looks weird. I know what they're doing, but do they do this in the States, by the way? The, putting the phones together, let the NFI chips or whatever it is, I forgot the term for the radio signal, but yeah, to allow the phones to communicate. Not Bluetooth, but I think it's NFI.
来ました。
Mostly people are kind of hesitant to trade line information because it's actually, because again, if it's very difficult to dark online because it's attached to the smartphone. So it's almost like your line account's attached to the smartphone and whatnot. I think, unless it's been changed. So people are kind of hesitant just to give out the line information because then if you got to ghost somebody, you can't. I mean, it's very difficult because you can't give up your line. Hmm.
くそ、なんだよジルベールって。
ジルベルって。
今日はあんま時間ないから適当おかずで行くか。
適当おかず。Simple or sloppy snacks. Let's see if that's a full phrase itself. No. Okazu should be the snacks side dish. 適当おかず。
ニンニク2分の1かけは粗みじん。
粗みじん。Let's see what I got there. And then mijin. Subtle or small parts. Okay. Komakai chili. Mijin. Okay. Ara mijin. Yeah, you do that because again, you throw the little parts of the garlic into the oil, and it just gives the oil the flavor for whatever you're cooking.
2分の1かけは粗みじん。玉ねぎ1個は薄いくし形に切っておいて。
薄い串? Let's see if that is. 串. Okay, 薄い串。
玉ねぎ1個は薄いくし形に切っておいて。
Okay, I see what they mean now. Okay, cut in halves and okay, slices. 薄い串。薄い串。串型。薄い串型。
玉ねぎ1個は薄いくし形に切っておいて。
鶏もも肉。That's the thigh.
鶏もも肉1枚は8等分に切って、
Okay.
軽く塩コショウしておく。
Okay, very light salt and pepper. Oh, that looks so good. That is so good.
鶏肉の両面をこんがり焼いたら、
こんがり焼いたら、程よく焼けて、so yeah, baked well. To kind of like make it crispy on both sides, right? Be well done brown, okay? こんがり焼いたら。
鶏肉の両面をこんがり焼いたら、一旦取り出して、鶏の脂の出たフライパンの中に玉ねぎとニンニクを入れてしんなりするまで炒める。
しんなりする。しんなりするまで。Okay. And I know that's, come back here. 炒める。
しんなりするまで炒める。
It depends, because again, you got to understand though. I mean, you're going to be the cooking, but it doesn't mean that what they have around the dinner table where they have to have conversation. You probably don't want actual food there because under the studio lights and heat, it's going to make a lot of the food go bad, especially over time. So it's not unreasonable to think that they'll have essentially a stage or a display set up that looks like the food that they'll be eating. Again, that's not unreasonable because again, it is a drama. They have to film the same scene multiple times throughout the day, and you don't want to like try to make sure the food. And if you got to do matchups with the film, then if you're always having different foods because you know it's been eaten and then new food brought in, then that's going to make matching up a lot more difficult as well. So yes, it's probably better if they'll just have like fake food for the display.
あと何か冷凍しといたしめじでも入れるか。
Shimeji? Ah, mushrooms. Don't know what type of mushroom. But... So if you ever do sentence mining from this particular show or shows like this, when you get the vocabulary, remember, add a, you know, like Migako has the option, but yeah, add the photo from, or do a Google image search, but yeah, definitely add a photo of what that food or item happens to be. That just will help out a lot. Shimeji. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I mean, I've eaten that plenty of times. I never knew its name. So I'm really, really bad about the names of food and ingredients. Okay, so yeah, so you can see how they did that. So that's the oil. Cook the chicken in there. Remove the chicken. We're using the same oil. Add in the vinegar, a little bit of shioko, maybe some. Yeah, I think just not in the vinegar. Sorry. Add the onions and then the mushrooms, and then basically make a saute. I assume that's what a saute is. Again, I'm not a cook, so.
全体的にくったりしたところで。
全体的にくったり。くったり? Wait a minute. Oh.
全体的にくったりしたところでトマト缶半分を投入。残りの半分はタッパーに取っておいて、トマト缶をゆすぐついでに
ゆすぐついて Yeah, sounds like my wife's home. ゆすぐついて rinse. Okay, oh sorry.
1缶分のトマト缶をゆすぐついでに1缶分の水を入れる。そこにコンソメキューブを1個入れて。
Consomme cube. So that should be a flavor cube, right? Like consomme. Yeah. Clear cube. Flavor cube.
くつくつ煮る。
くつくつ煮る means like stirring, right? Simmering. Okay. くつくつ煮る。
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 で、その間に佳代子さんのコールスローをたっぷり持ってあとは昨日の残りのインゲンとじゃがいもの煮物。
So ingen, I don't know what ingen is. Jagaimo obviously potatoes, but ingen. Komon, keep this simple. Kidney beans. Okay. I would not have guessed that. Okay, kidney beans. Ingen to jagaimo, nimono. That is nimono, right? Yeah, nimono.
あとは昨日の残りのインゲンとじゃがいもの煮物。
ただいま。
おかわり。
今日は鶏のもも肉だ。
鶏のもも肉だ。
そう。
手洗ってくる。
手洗って。
このトマトソースに鶏肉を戻して。
このトマトソースに鶏肉を戻して。And by the way, I've had my wife, what she does after she sees these episodes, sometimes she'll make note of the recipe and actually make it for dinner. And it's really good. It's really good.
Mm, なんかまだ味が尖ってるような。
味が尖る。尖る。That's come to a point. So like on the edge of a little sour.
なんかまだ味が尖ってるような。そうだ、これ使っちまおう。
Cheese? That mozzarella cheese? Or...
よーし、これで黒胡椒に
Black pepper.
バジルとオレガノ入れて出来上がり。
Basil and oregano. バジル、オレガノ。That looks good. Oh, by the way, he just said tekito. It's like he just said he's just doing this half-ass. He wasn't even being serious about it. It's like what? That's him being half-assed, by the way.
この鶏のトマトになんかすっごいコクがあって美味しい。チーズが入ってんだよ。はあ。
こっちのコールスローはかよこさんのお手製。
お手製。Let's see what that is. 自分で作ること。かよこさんのお手製。
こっちのコールスローはかよこさんのお手製。
かよこさんのお手製。
酸っぱさの中に甘みがあって美味しい。かやこさん直伝のおかずって本当美味しいよね。
かやこの直伝のinstruction or yeah recipe. There we go. Recipe. 直伝. Okay. 直伝の。
かやこさん直伝のおかずって本当美味しいよね。
弁当にもいいよな。あ、来週の土曜日、俺例の今田さんの付き添いで遊園地行ってくる。
はい、例の今田さんの。いや、
弁当持って。
息子さんに会いたいって言ってた人？
Yeah, that's gonna be sad.
俺もバカだよな。せっかくの休みに。
そんなことない。シロさんらしいよ。それに一緒に行くのが女性なら俺も安心。
え？
シロさんはもう女の人には行かないって分かったし。ゲイの友達と食事とかに行くなんていうより全然いいよ。
今度食事でもどうですか？
どうした？
Is he gonna mention it or no? Not yet.
いや。実家からだ。悪い。食ってて。食堂に？12月11日。ずいぶん先だな。西東京医療センター。
西東京医療 OK 西東京医療センター I should have seen that 医療センター I know that's this is about his father falling ill
12月11日ずいぶん先だな。西東京医療センター入院はいつから？俺明日はそっち行った方がいい？まだいいの？じゃあ詳しいこと決まったらまた電話して。 親父、
親父
先月受けた人間ドックで引っかかって。
人間の、ドック。人間ドック。受けた人間ドックで引っかけた。
今日再検査。親父、先月受けた人間ドックで引っかかって今日再検査してもらったらしいんだけど、食道にがんが見つかったって。
Throat cancer? Let's see, shokudo. Maybe I'm the gullet. Yeah, esophagus. I completely misread that, by the way. Esophagus. 食道にがんが見つかった。
食道にがんが見つかったって。
Edgar, yeah, doing good.
そう。12月に手術するらしいんだけど。
うん。
So right now it's July. They're planning for surgery in December. So that's kind of a long wait. But
シロさん、俺なんかできることあるかな。
いや、
いや別に今んとこないよ。
今んとこないよ。
何でも遠慮なく俺に言ってよ、シロさん。
サンキュー。とにかく食っちまおう。
うん。So, parent Obento. Episode 3.
こんなもんか。
I'm almost done here.
何時に出るかな。
Where we at there?
何時に出るかな。
東京遊園地乗り。Should we notice or no? No. Saison. Saison. Survival rate? Saison needs. Yeah. Around, let's see, 40%. Okay, let me see. Stage 2, 食道がんはリンパ、I don't know about that, に転移していないものの、切肉声少しやがって状態のことを言います。食道、肝臓、はい。what is it? はいすいてく。気管、I don't know what that is. 気管などのがん、5年生。5年。Over a 5-year period, 40% chance of, I guess, coming back after it's been treated. I'm assuming I'm probably reading it wrong. Okay, so if you untreated, 40% chance. With surgery, it's almost 100% survival. Okay.
Oh.
And I might have misread that, so yeah. Since my Japanese level sucks. Oh, we hit the 1 hour mark.
ねえねえねえ、これってもしかして。
これお前の。どうせならお前も弁当持ってけよ。昨日の晩飯とかぶるけど。
晩飯とかぶる。
はい。
Okay, banmeshi kaburuto. Okay, so yeah, so you made onigiri, but with leftovers from yesterday's dinner. Got it. Okay, Edgar. with the translation. What are you using? Oh, yeah, just real quick is that the texts are ripped from the subtitles put to text format. That's all that is. And then all I'm using is a pop-up dictionary. So this is just happened to be, it looks up that, and yeah, that's about as simple as I can put it. So that's pop-up dictionary, Koyomi-chan. You can see the Japanese definitions or the Japanese English translations of the, yeah, so that's all it is. Nothing complicated. Okay, so that's Seiko.
今田さん行きましょう。今田さんもっと普通にしてた方が。
Yeah. This is why you're realizing it's a very bad idea to let her get near the kids right now. She's not mentally stable at the moment. She doesn't have any type of reservations or any type of thoughts behind the consequences. Now, where are we at? Now, oh, okay, sorry. I think that should be the viewing trolley, right? Goransha. Suisha. Oh, so a tour boat. Right? Ferris wheel. Oh, I was completely off. Maybe if I had actually read the full direction. Okinawa ni. There we go. God darn it. Should have just read the Kondansha. So okay. So this isn't a secret. So I know it is planned. So that's. But even then, you can see the. And I don't think the husband told his new wife / girlfriend. Okay.
離れてみるって約束ですから。一旦捨てましょう。ダメです。
And it's kind of sad because they're playing it with music. They're trying to make this kind of a more comic film. This is actually a very serious scene. It's like when it opened up with the first episode. It's a very serious scene. They're trying to use the music to at least lighten the mood. But again, this is like very serious. Very, you can feel for the lady, but you realize, seeing her actions, she shouldn't really be allowed near the child at the moment. That's not saying the husband's not a jerk. I mean, he probably is a jerk. Some of the shit he pulled from what little we could hear about, but still, I mean, it's reasonable to say like why the judge would say, "Hey, he gets custody and she gets a restraining order."
こっちもお昼にしましょうか。お腹空いたでしょ。
And this is where we find out, like, Shiro,
すごい綺麗、美味しそう。これ先生が作ったんですか？
はい。料理が趣味なもので。どうぞ。
That does look good.
いただきます。美味しいです先
生。それよかった。
これ西京焼きですか
？Kyoto style. Okay. Saito yaki. See, that's fish like piccolo, 9 Kyoto sweet style. Okay. Dengro. I don't know if I've.
西京焼きですか？
I don't know if I've had
出
that.
ますね。
いやそれ買ってきたやつで。
このアスパラもピリッとしてて美味しい。
はい、ママの言うことよく聞いて。
Hmm. Uh-oh. Let me just skip forward a bit. Sorry about that. And you can tell, like, he is not. And again, I know it's the actor playing it, but you can show his character is not meant to be able to handle, again, emotions of other people.
今田さん。
He's a good guy, but again, he's very difficult in situations like this.
今田さん。今田さん。さあ、俺も食うかな。いただきます。
See, obviously, common sense. Well, not common sense. I would say what I would probably do is try to, again, walk, take her away from the scene. Again, just or to at least be by her. But I get it. He's doing it. He's there as her lawyer in a way, or legal representative, or basically he's there to escort her. Basically be the escort. The supervisor for this distant visitation that's going on. So maybe he has to be reserved. Like he can't go and show comfort in a way, in such a way, because again, it might just not be professional. I don't know what could be going through his mind. Obviously, as this person, you kind of show sympathy and don't try to ignore the emotion she's going through, but maybe get her away from, say, maybe it is time to go. Okay. And just walk off or just sit by her. Just at the most, just sit by her, let her cry it out. And that might help, but don't sit across from the table and pretend to eat as if nothing's happening with her. Cause that just looks all sorts of bad. And it's not helpful. He can't run away. If you're there as the essentially the legal supervisor for this visitation, you don't run away from that. But yeah.
お、今日何弁当？
Miyake? Miyake. Where are we at?
そう
Oh, okay, his boss. Gotcha.
シロさんがね作ってくれた。
円満だね、羨ましいね。
円満。Full?
円満だね、羨ましいね。
いただきます。店長とか奥さんとどうなの？
どうなのって、うちはもうあれでもないよ。普段会話があるわけじゃないしさ。普段会話があるわけじゃないしさ。せいぜい子供の話とかよほど大事なことじゃない限りね。
でも大事な話はするんだ。
まあ一応家族だし。まあ一応家族だし。
なんかあった。それがいや。
どうした？
普段そっけなくてもさ。
普段 see if that's a full phrase. No. Oh, wait. そっけなく。もうやりがない。 Not feeling anything, not thinking about anything. Cold, blunt, short. Soke nai. Let's see what soke is. Aite no omoiyari. So being more detailed. Okay. So yeah, obviously the opposite of that. Soke. Soke nai. Fudan soke nakute. So it says that fudan soke. Fudan soke nakute mo. So.
普段そっけなくてもさ、大事な話はしてくれるんでしょ。そっちの方がいいじゃない。
先生、ありがとうございました。
大丈夫ですか？
私ってすごく変じゃないですか。
いや。
だから家族ですらまともに接してくれなくて。
まともに？
だから家族ですらまともに接してくれなくて。でも先生はちゃんと話聞いてくれました。気持ちがしんどい時って誰か一人でも親身になって話を聞いてくれる人がいると。
親身になって。
誰か一人でも親身になって話を聞いてくれる人がいると安心するんですね。
俺なんかできることあるかな？
いや別に。
シロさんごちそうさま。弁当すっごい美味しかった。
貸して、ついでに洗うから。
ついでに。Oh yeah.
もう時間遅いし、夕飯軽めでいいか。
いいよいいよ。シロさんも今日疲れたでしょ。
じゃあ作り置きの手羽先と大根の煮物でさっと済ませるか。
じゃあ冷凍ご飯チンするね。
さケンジ。親父のことでこの先もし何かあった時さ。話聞いてもらってもいいかな？
聞いてもらってもいいかな？
話聞いてくれるだけでいいんだ。
聞くよ。もちろんだよ、シロさん。
どうしよう、お父さん死んじゃったら。
はじめまして。
はじめまして。
一緒に暮らしてる人って特別なのね。
俺はお父さん助かると思う。
Lasagna. All right. Let's see. It's 12:40. Okay. So this is now it's 1:15. So again, like I'm saying, most anime is 22 minutes. Let me take this off here. Most anime is 22 minutes long. Most of the dramas I'll be doing are 45 to 48 minutes long. Those are ones I'll be splitting up into two. So do two videos per episode. Whereas anime, I'll do one video per episode. This one, because it's 30 minutes long, I'm still going to do 1 minute, one video per episode. But I'm realizing, like, again, instead of it taking like 40 minutes, it's taking an hour and 15 minutes. Because I started like real quick, and I wasn't doing too much of monologuing about certain aspects of the TV show. I mean, I did a few things, but for the most part, it was just trying to, enjoy the show. So yeah, I'll probably be doing like recording these once a day. I might try for twice a day, but that's like kind of pushing because again, it's turning it into like 2.5 hours to 3 hours, which isn't a bad thing when it comes to reading. But yeah, just got to be really careful because again, right now I'll be posting this on. In fact, I'll write it down right now. Be posting this on the 12th, so that's like 8 or 9 days of a buffer. And again, I was trying to get the buffer up to 14 days, but I've been missing a couple of days for reasons here and there. A lot of it's laziness, but yeah, I mean, I really like the show. It's a very nice show to watch. It relates to cooking, which is something I'm not like, definitely not skilled in the least, but it's something that it was kind of good to know about because again, my wife cooks and if you live in Japan, food is a big part of the culture. Again, all sorts of shows on Japan are about cooking or going to restaurants or something or other. So yeah, it's kind of cool. And again, we're going to a local local supermarket to pick up food. Hoping to get that good sale on something or other. Yeah. The two characters that they were talking about, I've already forgotten his names and whatnot. But yeah, the other gay couple, and there'll be some other gay couples as well. That and again, this is couples, but we're specifying it as to why again who they'll be meeting. And it'd be kind of interesting to see how the different characters are when they interact. And yeah, it's just kind of interesting. You got again, there's personalities. There's someone just because, again, you just don't define them by just one characteristics. Again, there's this broad package of things. Again, you look at Kakei, and again, I've mentioned this. So like, I didn't really like his character. He seemed like a very mean character. Like he's always yelling or always seems like he's angry at something. But it turns out he's a reserved person. He's not very free with revealing his emotions. Whereas the other character, his boyfriend, partner, is very open about his emotions, what he's feeling. So I think that's kind of interesting. Whereas Kenji cooks and is very detailed and precise about what he's cooking. I'm sorry, not Kenji. I'm sorry. Kakei. Way he cooks, but Kenji's very good about interpreting the flavors, and giving voice to the flavors. So again, this is kind of a different. I think that's kind of interesting as well. What is so great about the food, about why when the flavors are interacting, which I think is cool. It's not something you don't really think about it when you eat sometimes, but it is good and appreciate the food that you do eat and the flavors that can be offered, and what could be a good meal versus an average meal versus truck stop sushi. Gas station sushi is like very trustworthy. 3-day-old gas station sushi at worst. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it is like again as it started to rain again outside. Like, but you can actually hear the rain falling, and it's like completely white. Because the fog and the clouds had just rolled in, so I just can't even barely see any of the skyline. And I get to go to work after this, so that's going to be fun. All right, yeah, because I had some classes I had to cancel yesterday because of the rain, so we thought it'd be safer to like set it for today. It wasn't going to be raining as hard. It's still raining, but not as hard as it was yesterday. Yeah, and again, this is a very light-hearted drama. It's not very serious, but again, the bit about the mother and their child, that was a very serious aspect, but they try to keep it with the music, not feel as, you wouldn't feel the emotions as strongly as if it were like serious tones were played from the beginning. Yeah, and then they're going to be introducing the other characters, which is going to be kind of weird. 7-Eleven sushi, default ritual, go 7-Eleven and get coffee. Okay. Now again, in Japan, getting sushi from the store, that's fine. But I don't know about from the gas station in the U.S. I don't know. Because it's very easy because it's raw fish, so you want to be very careful about that. You want to be very careful about that. I think I'll end that there. There's 12 more episodes of this, so there's another nine episodes I'll be doing. I'm looking forward to it. This is fun. Again, this has been a very fun. And Shinya Shokudo is just as fun. The only downside is, of course, they're not describing what he's doing, so it's just a lot of not talking. It's just showing. Not necessarily a bad thing, but again, it kind of means that, that 22 or 24 minute video is like, you finish it in almost 30 minutes. It's like very quick. It almost feels like I should do 2 episodes just to make it seem like it's of a decent length. But that's fine. It's neither here nor there. It just means I definitely will do I'll record 2 episodes a day with that particular show. Whereas with this one, if I do 1 or 2 a day, that's definitely going to be a lot. I'll also add that I started doing adding more vocabulary back into Anki. Now right now I'm kind of recatching up on using Morphman. So I kind of took some stuff off, redid my known text, the external information, basically the stuff that, hey, pretend I already know all this stuff, that external information. I got rid of some stuff, and so it looks like I don't know as much vocabulary but I actually do. But I'll slowly add into it. The benefit, though, is that a lot of these are going to be the character names. So like the last 30 or so, I've added like 30 cards were mainly just characters' names. And what I decided to do was like, here's the top of the word's going to be either the person's family name or their first name or their given name, and then I'll add their full name as a note for that reasons. And do I know how to pronounce it? Which isn't that big of a deal, but it should help. Reason being is I think it's just, and then below that I'll add here's the actor who plays them, and here's a photo of the actor. Yeah, so nothing complicated. I'm not trying to memorize the actors' names, but it's good to like be reminded. So I might have like the person's name twice for their family name and their given name. Although the family name, it could apply to like 2 or 3 different people. But again, that's fine. I think it should be good because again, I already know a very weak spot. One of my weak spots is definitely Japanese names. And if I'm reading these Japanese dramas, knowing how to pronounce names is just a useful thing because it's something you just don't stress about after that. And after I do about 100 of those vocabulary words, I don't know how fast I'll be doing it, but I'll start then doing back and forth between maybe learn 10 words for Morphman and go through 20 cards or something for the other thing, which is going to be Shinkansen Master in 3 or the vocabulary. I think that'll be it. All right, so thank you all very much. Thank you, Dr. Merlot and Edgar, for your comments. For other persons, if you watch this later, hey, thank you for watching. This has been Let's Read Japanese, Ki no Nani Tabeta, Episode 3. If you like the video, remember to give it a thumbs up. And leave a comment, please. Feedback's always welcome. So if you like the series, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to do more series like this. And remember, this is all part of the Let's Learn Japanese project. And if you like that project, what I'm doing with it and helping the Japanese language learning community, you can support that through the Patreon. The links are below, as well as links to the website, the community Discord. And if you want to hire me on commission, that's also done via the Patreon. And normally it's just usually people do it to help them get started off, to explain a lot of the stuff, like one-on-one. So it's easier to figure stuff out and with any problems that might pop up. Okay, so thank you all very much. And yeah, I'll see you later. Let me just write here. Thanks for watching.